Anna stood on the subway platform, waiting for the train that would take her to the university, as she did every morning. She looked over her lecture notes, preparing for another day of studying. But this morning was something special. On the opposite side of the platform stood a young man who was also waiting for a train. Their gazes met for a moment, and Anna felt a strange but pleasant excitement. When the train pulled up, she noticed that the same young man had boarded the same carriage as her. They found themselves across from each other, and Anna realized she couldn't take her eyes off his face. He looked thoughtful, but at the same time very confident. At one point, their gazes met again, and he smiled at her. It was the most genuine smile Anna had ever seen. After a few days, their chance encounters on the subway became a regular occurrence. The young man always boarded the same car and always smiled at her. Anna couldn't stand this silence any longer and decided to talk to him. "Hello," she said, a little shyly. "We often see each other in the subway. What's your name?" "Hi," he answered with a smile. "My name is Daniel. And you?" "Anna," she answered, feeling her cheeks start to blush. Thus began their first conversation. It turned out that Daniel studied at the same university, but at a different faculty. They discussed their academic subjects, hobbies, and future plans. The travel time flew by, and when the train arrived at the right station, they decided to exchange phone numbers. Soon after, Anna and Daniel decided to meet outside the university. They chose a cozy cafe in the center of the city. Anna was nervous, but Daniel managed to dispel her fears with his ease and friendliness. They ordered coffee and began a conversation. The conversation flowed easily and casually. They discussed their childhood dreams, favorite books and movies. Anna felt that she was very easy and comfortable with Daniel. He was not only an intelligent and interesting conversationalist, but also a very attentive and caring person. After this date, they began to meet more and more often. They walked in parks, visited museums and cinemas, spent evenings discussing everything in the world. Their relationship grew stronger and stronger, and Anna felt that she had found a kindred spirit in Daniel. However, not everything was going so smoothly. In his second year, Daniel was offered an internship in another country. It was a unique opportunity for his career, and he couldn't pass it up, and understood that it was important to him. But the thought of separation tormented her. They agreed that they would keep in touch despite the distance. The first few weeks went well. They communicated regularly via video and text, but as time went on, the distance and busyness began to take its toll on their relationship. Anna felt lonely, and Daniel became more and more immersed in his work. One evening, after a particularly difficult day, Anna received a message from Daniel. He wrote that it was very difficult for him to combine his internship and his relationship, and that he didn't want her to suffer because of his absence. Anna was crushed, but realized that he needed time and space. 6 months later, Daniel returned home. Anna felt mixed feelings, joy at his return and fear that their relationship might not recover. But as soon as she saw him at the airport, all her doubts vanished. They embraced, and Anna realized that their love had only grown stronger. They began to spend more time together, making up for lost moments. Daniel talked about his experiences abroad, and Anna shared her accomplishments and experiences. Their relationship grew even stronger, and they realized that they could overcome any challenges if they were together. But life continued to throw them challenges. After graduating from university, Anna received a job offer at a large company, but it meant moving to another city. She was again faced with a difficult choice: career or relationship. Daniel supported her decision. He understood how important this opportunity was for Anna, and offered to try a long-distance relationship again. They agreed again that they would keep in touch and visit each other often. It was difficult at first, but they managed, and it got used to a new city and job. While Daniel continued to develop his career, they found ways to make long-distance relationships interesting. They traveled together, arranged virtual dates, and wrote each other letters. After a year, Anna and Daniel realized they could no longer live apart. Daniel found a job in the same city where Anna worked and moved in with her. They started their life together in a small, cozy apartment. The first months were full of joy and new discoveries. They learned to live together, shared responsibilities, and planned for the future. Anna and Daniel realized that they were ready for a new stage in their relationship. One evening, as they were walking through the park, Daniel stopped and said, "Anna, you know that you are the most important person in my life to me. We've been through a lot, and I realized that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?" Anna was shocked and happy at the same time. She answered yes, and Daniel put a ring on her finger. It was one of the happiest moments of their lives. Preparing for the wedding was an exciting and joyful process. Anna and Daniel wanted this day to be special and carefully thought out every detail. They chose a cozy country house for the ceremony and invited only the closest friends and relatives. Anna dreamed of a dress that would be the realization of her dreams and found it in a small boutique. Daniel chose a classic suit that emphasized his style and confidence. Together, they thought through the menu, decorations, and music for their celebration. The wedding day was filled with joy and happiness. The ceremony took place surrounded by flowers and greenery. Under the open sky, Anna walked down the aisle to the altar, holding her father's hand, and saw Daniel waiting for her with a smile. She felt like this was the most important day of her life. As they said their vows and exchanged rings, all the guests applauded and cheered for them. The celebration continued until late into the evening with music, dancing, laughter, and warm words of wishes. Anna and Daniel enjoyed every moment of the day. For their honeymoon, they chose to travel around Europe and had always dreamed of visiting Paris. And Daniel decided to make her dream come true. They walked the narrow streets, admired the architecture, visited museums, and enjoyed French cuisine. After Paris, they traveled to Italy where they enjoyed the romance of Venice and the beauty of Florence. This trip was not only an opportunity for them to relax, but also to strengthen their bond. They returned home with new experiences and feelings, ready for a life together. Anna and Daniel began to build their family life. They bought a house in a quiet neighborhood and began to furnish it. Anna did the interior design and Daniel did the technical aspects. Their home became a cozy and warm place where they felt happy. They continued to develop their careers, but always found time for each other. They spent their evenings having dinners together, watching movies, and having long conversations.